Welcome to another episode of the Girls Club podcast. I'm your host, Isabel, and with me today I have my co-host.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
Nice. Today we'll be talking about fears. So we will cover our biggest fear, and then like a fear, but like it's I guess minor-ish. Fears are not it right now. So do you know what your biggest fear is?
My biggest fear is probably disappointing someone. Because it's like, I've dealt with that before and it didn't feel really well. So it's like now I'm just like, okay, I can't disappoint. Like, I have to get good grades. I have to do all this perfectly to the exact standards.
You feel like you have to like live up to everyone's expectations. Exactly. Isn't that very stressful though?
It's stressful, and that's mainly why like I'm always tired at the end of the day, which I don't get because it's like I'm tired at the end of the day, but I don't sleep. It's like, I wake up the next day, yeah, I'm tired, but it's like I'm not ready for bed.
Yeah, but like if you don't sleep, then like, aren't you like spaced out at school?
I space out at school a lot.
Okay, I mean I do that too, but even if I get good sleep. So disappointing someone, that's deep. Do you ever feel like that, like from here? Like, do you ever feel like you're gonna disappoint someone here, or is it just like close family?
I don't feel like I'm gonna disappoint you guys, but I always have like that fear, like in the back of my head, like, okay, you can't do this because like they're not gonna accept that, they're not gonna like that, and it's like I'm so scared. But it's not because like of you guys; it's more of like my past, because it's like dealing with all this stuff. It's like now I have that fear in the back of my mind that someone who I'm around now is gonna feel the same way as the person before, when I know people are different.
Yeah,
like that fear.
That's so scary.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear would actually be, you're gonna be like, this is stupid, but it's actually drowning.
Honestly, like, I feel like a lot of people have that fear.
Yeah. Well, it's also like
scary.
Yeah. Like, it's like when I used to go, because I used to swim a lot.
Right.
So when I would go swimming, like I'd get tired, and like obviously you're like, I can't touch the floor because like you're on the deep end.
Exactly.
And like you feel like you're trying to catch your breath, but like you're already above water, and like you're trying to like tread water. It's so hard. Right. And like you feel like you're gonna drown like in any second, and then like once you drown, if no one's watching, like you're done for because you can't get back up.
Or like when like your feet touch, and then like you're just chilling there, and then your foot slips.
Yes. And then you're like, oh my god, and like you're trying to like go back up, and like that's the worst feeling ever, because you're like, I'm gonna drown and I'm gonna die and no one's gonna help me, and I'm not gonna, like that's, I don't know,
because it's like when
scary.
people are like, oh, your life flashes before your eyes. That's
it really does.
Because it's like, especially like when like my foot will just slip and there'll be water in my mouth, I'm like,
I know. Or even when you're swimming and like some like actually goes like up your nose or like in your mouth, and you're like,
exactly. And then everyone's like, are you okay?
Yep, like, do I look okay?
It's just
Yeah, my mom used to have like a Y membership. It's like we always go swimming, and that's where I like learned to swim. Like I have swim lessons there. Right. And I remember like slowly trying to go into the deep end, and like I'd slide down, and I still didn't know how to swim, and like I wouldn't get back up because I didn't even know how to like tread water or anything. So then I tried to like push myself off, but it's like, okay, so like at a pool you can do that because like there's a ground, like if you go all the way down, just push yourself back up. But if you're like at a lake or like,
you can't do that.
Yeah, like it's just, what if there's no like you're gonna go all the way down, like you're gonna run out of air, so
right.
It's definitely scary,
because it's like when I went to the summer camp, every Friday we'd go to Sand Park Pool, and literally like when I was really little, every single day, like every single Friday, we'd always have to like take a swim test when we're there. Like you gotta swim all the way through the deep end. You can't touch your feet. You can't touch the wall. And a lot of times I'd fail that, and I'd have to wear a life jacket. But me being the kid I am, I took it off and threw it.
Oh my goodness, Taylor. It's for your own safety.
And I would swim into the deep end because my sister would go over there, and I didn't have any friends. So I was like, oh, let me go hang out with my sister.
You're like, I got this. No life jacket.
And then one time I lost her because there were so many people, and I was just chilling in the deep end. I was like,
you're like, I'm gonna not be alive right now.
And then there were so many people around me. Like, literally, I started like getting pushed under, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I just like tried to swim blindly out of there.
That's the worst feeling ever. I know how to swim, but like I get tired easily.
Exactly.
So like I can do like the puppy swim, or like I could do like the whole thing, but that's when I start to get tired. So then I do the puppy swim, and then I'm already tired, and then I feel like I can't breathe. So like we went to camp, it was like through the Boys and Girls Club. It was 2 summers ago, and as a staff you had to like know how to swim, right?
Oh wow.
So I was like, okay, well I do technically, right? So they test you, like they put like life jackets whether you knew how to swim or not, and like they just kind of like threw you in there to see if you could swim. So like,
oh my gosh.
So like they had to like test it. So like you would get in and you had to take a lap, like swim a lap, and then come back and try to like push yourself up. I do not have upper strength, okay, like upper body strength, and I used to because I used to work out, and then COVID hit. Oops, sorry. And then COVID hit, and I stopped working out. So like I didn't have any upper body strength. And I was trying to push myself up, and there's like nothing to like so I looked ridiculous trying to like like climb on top. It was so funny.
That's literally like I remember last year when we did swimming in PE. Mm-hmm. Literally he would make us jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. And literally, he could see so many people were struggling to get out. Yeah. So he's like, you guys just sit in the pool. Just keep getting in. Just sit there.
Yeah. I remember when I used to do swimming in middle school. And I used to hate it because I always had gym first hour. So, like, the rest of the day, my hair smelled like chlorine. And, like, I didn't feel, like, clean because, like, I just got out of the pool. But I remember almost drowning.
Oh my god!
Like nobody had seen me because we had to take a test so that you could go on the deep end, and I had failed it. And my teacher was distracted by something else.
You're gonna be the rebel.
And I was with my friends, and they were like, "Oh, you're drowning," and I was like, "Literally, help me! I'm dying." They just kind of like pushed me to the side. I found like where I could find like I could step. And I just pushed myself up, and I was like,
"That's how
I
it
hate
was
that
for
feeling."
Because it's like when we went to Sand Park Pool one time. Mm-hmm. Literally, I think I was in like maybe I don't know how old I was, but literally I was so small, like probably like 4 foot. Yeah. And I went down the slide, went by myself. My sister, she went and hung out with her friends. I literally had no life jacket on. Even though I was supposed to have one on.
You need to wear a life jacket.
They literally had to rescue me because I almost drowned.
Oh my god.
So they had to literally jump in the pool and help me out. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It's so embarrassing when someone tries to save you. Like, I know they're trying to save me, but don't embarrass me.
Like, make me look good.
Because, like, you can't look good when you're, like, like, the hair's all over. I know what you mean. Like, it shouldn't be embarrassing because they're trying to save your life. But it's embarrassing.
And literally, they yelled at me as soon as we got up. They're like, you go get a life jacket right now. You should not. No, who let you go? I was like, I took it off myself.
I feel like wearing a life jacket is, like, embarrassing.
It's like wearing a giant snowsuit.
Because then you can't, like... like you feel like you're like suffocating. So then when you're like about to drown, like they're supposed to help you, but like you feel like you're suffocating more because it's like already up here.
Exactly.
Anyway. Do you have any like minor fears? Like there's still a big fear, but they're not that
minor
big of a deal.
Fear would probably be fear of spiders.
Fear of spiders.
Like okay.
Ignore him.
So basically I can be in the same room as it because it's like okay, as long as you don't come near me.
Yeah.
But one time I was laying in my bed, and this big old daddy long leg comes swinging down from my ceiling and about to just chillax on my stomach. I was like, I'm not sleeping in this room tonight. Move me out of here. I will go sleep on that couch till that spider's gone.
That is so funny. I have multiple.
I
hate like insects or like small animals, like mice. Like I can't even look at one. Like it just like something goes through my body that's like, ew, that's disgusting. You know what I mean?
I will literally freak out and just run. Like I don't even care. Like one time, we were literally in the kitchen and we were moving the stove. We're all just sitting over here, like cleaning in the stove. Mice comes running from out. I'm like, mice! And I ditch my mom and my sister. I'm like, bye. And I run out and they're like, you just left us there. I was like, sorry, y'all fend for yourselves.
Like every man for themselves.
That's how it'll be. If I ever see a mice or a snake, every man for themselves. No. Sorry, you on your own. I'm getting out of here.
See, and that's the thing. Like when I go to Mexico, I love going to Mexico. It's so beautiful and like so relaxing. Yeah. But the thing I hate about Mexico the most is like the animals, because there's lizards because it's so hot. And, like they just come out, and like sometimes you're like walking by, and you'll see one like move, and you're like, oh my goodness. Like it's like a jump scare because they kind of
Yeah.
like blend in with the rocks. And then when we first got there, obviously no one has been in the house for like months because like we go like they're in Chicago.
Right.
And when we get back in, we're trying to like clean the rooms to make sure that there's like no mice droppings or like scorpions or anything.
Yeah.
So I hate when we have to like you push the beds out and like you just see like dead mice everywhere.
Oh my
and sometimes they're not all the way dead. So like you see it run and you're like, oh my goodness, like, I don't want to stand on anything because everything is dirty. So yeah, it's very crazy. It's
yeah,
gross.
because it's like when I went to Florida, and Florida is known for having alligators, lizards, and we were walking back to the hotel room. We're just chilling, talking, and this lizard comes out of nowhere, and I almost trip and fall because I was so scared. I was like, ugh. And then my mom and my sister started laughing at me. And it was so funny. Especially when it rains there and there's lizards out and a bunch of creatures. I literally slipped and I looked to my left and there's just a lizard sitting there. I'm like,
you're like, no, not today.
What is this?
Yeah. Like, I don't understand how they can be scary, but they are. Like, I just don't want it near me. I don't want something crawling up me. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's gross. I can't.
Or especially
can't.
like when you're just sitting still and then you feel like that itch, like something's crawling
and you're
on
like,
you.
I really hope it's a hair on me, not something else crawling on me.
And then when it's not, you're like,
oh my goodness. I know exactly.
It's so bad.
I hate it so much. I would say another like minor fear of mine would be not having kids, like not being able to have kids, just because since I was little, my dad used to call me a baby magnet. And I was like, why would you ever call me that? Like, that's weird. And he was like, no, because like everywhere you go, like babies or like young children are like super attached to you, And I was like, like I never thought of that. That's actually how I thought about like what I wanted to do with my life. I was like, well, I love being around kids love being around me, and I wanted to be a teacher. But then I found this place. I get to work with kids all the time, kids of all ages, and I get along with everybody. So kind of being like a teacher has like left my mind. Right. I think I'm still gonna go back and like pursue it and see how it goes. I started being a paraprofessional, so I work with more kids now.
That's good.
Yeah, it's fun. Today was my first day and it was a lot. Like here I'm used to it because it's like 4 hours. Over there it's like 7.5, like almost 8 hours. So it's something else. But I hope I like it. But yeah, like not being able to have my own kids would break my heart. Like I can't. But
because it's like just seeing like, especially like when I went down to South Carolina and I met my niece for the first time, and she was 2 years old. Literally, she was so attached to me. She didn't want me to go, and it's like the day we had to say goodbye to her, she was like, "No," and I felt so bad. I was about to just breaks your heart. Yeah, I was like, if I can't have kids in the future, I'm gonna die.
Exactly.
It's like they're so cute.
Like once you're attached to them and they're attached to you, it's like the best feeling ever. And then when you have to say bye, it's like, no, don't leave. Exactly. So like I feel like me being able to not have kids would be like the worst thing, or not like the worst thing in life, but it would definitely like break my heart. Because I don't know, I feel like I'd be a good mom. Obviously not right now because I'm too young.
But at the same time, it's like I don't know that much, so I feel like I'd be like,
continue.
I feel like I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, I feel like right now you're young to think about that.
Exactly.
Like in high school, I took child development classes. So I saw from like the moment you know you're pregnant to like up to like the baby is 5 years old.
Right.
And you learn about like how a child's mind works and like different activities. It's like, oh, like put yourself in this situation. And it's like, oh my goodness. And it scares me so much because you talk about like SIDS. Do you know what SIDS is? No. It's sudden infant death syndrome. So like where your baby like dies suddenly.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like to prevent it, like there's different ways to like lay your baby and like what not to have around the baby. Like it's so scary. And then you talk about like shaken baby syndrome, where like if you shake a baby, it like affects its brain. So like pretty much you just, I don't know, it's so hard. Like there's a lot of, like babies are so delicate, but like I feel like I'm ready. Obviously not like right now because I'm too young, but
right.
but I do want kids.
So it's like when I was a baby, I had a seizure, and it's like my mom didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's so scary.
My grandma, like it was just me, my grandma, and my mom. Yeah, because my sister, she was at daycare. No one knew what to do, so they called 911, and they came and just took me, just
Yeah, it's so scary.
And it's like they just took me from my mom. Like I get like, okay, you're gonna take care of me.
Yeah.
Bring my mom along.
It's like I need my mom. And like babies at such a young age, they need that bonding time with your parent. Like they smell you. That sounds weird, but like they start to get to know your scent, and that's like they get super attached to you. You know, that's why like they're always scared of like strangers. It sounds wrong, but like I don't know. I don't know. I'm so excited for that
Like
part
I
of my
had
life.
to be in the hospital for like a couple of days or like weeks
That's so scary.
because they had to run tests and they didn't know.
And then as a baby, like obviously you don't know what's going on because you're a baby, but like as a parent, like that is so scary.
And it's like when I like experienced like what their mindset went through, it was like, so this is how they felt when I had Caesar. And it sucks so bad.
Yeah, when my brothers were born, I was 14. Yes, I was 14. So I've always felt like their mom. My parents give me like Mother's Day presents. And like they respect me a lot, you know, like they see something. Sometimes it's to the point where like they're not listening to my mom. And then she's like, oh, like I'm gonna call okay, that's at 16 minutes, remember. Okay. All right, we're gonna edit that out. Stop! Go away!
Go!
Why?
Go somewhere!
We're almost done. Okay. You're fine.
All
right,
that out.
16 minutes. Okay. What did I say last?
Talking about like
Oh, so my brothers were born. They're twins.
Right.
So they were born 7 months instead of 9 months. So they're born 2 months early.
Oh, wow.
And they were like these tiny little things. And they had to spend a month in the hospital after they were born.
Oh, wow.
And like I've always felt like their mom, you know what I mean? So like seeing them in the hospital was like, oh my goodness, I hope they're gonna be okay. And like obviously they are, like they're super strong now, all those vitamins they took and stuff. Right. But like I remember what I was talking about. I'm gonna edit that out. My mom, when she doesn't know how to control my brothers sometimes because they're a handful, I'm not gonna lie, she'll just be like, oh, like Isabel's gonna come right now, and they're like, oh my goodness, no, like they get so scared. But it's like I don't yell at them, like I don't do anything like that. I just tell them what's like how it's supposed to be, and then they listen to me. Whereas like with my parents, they raised my sister and I like really good. I mean, like come on, look at me. But but it seems like with my brothers, they kind of just like they're older, they already kind of raised their kids, and like they just kind of getting lazy. So I feel like I have to step up so they don't become like I don't know. Like bad kids.
Middle schoolers?
Exactly. So I don't know. I feel like that's why I'm super ready to be a parent already, because I feel like I'm already a parent, you know. Right. So we'll see how that goes. So that's why it's like it breaks my heart if I can't have kids. Right. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up this podcast, this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Is there anything you want to say before we leave?
Don't hold back on what you want to do.
Perfect. That's a perfect way to end this podcast. Love it. I love the energy, Taylor. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.